Well, hello everybody. I want to welcome you to episode number 2. This is Crypt Ricks. I've been thinking, and I tell you, I got another great show lined up for you today. This is a topic that I have been looking forward to speaking to my guest with for a long time. Topic that I've been learning about myself. And before I met this gentleman, I really had no idea where to get started in this topic, or what all the terminology meant. So I figured he would be a great guest to try to get on here. Gonna try to get him on here at least once a week. We can ask some questions. If you have any good questions after this interview, feel free to leave them in the comments section, guys. And then I will definitely address it in the next episode that I do with this gentleman. So it's going to be a great episode. If you're interested, what the topic is I'm talking about is cryptocurrency. And as we all know, cryptocurrency is becoming a big thing now. And a lot of people are getting involved in it. They're talking about it. But the problem I had at the very beginning was I have no idea where to even get started. I hear people investing in crypto. I hear them talking about all the different coins. But I had no idea how to even start to even buy one coin. And I met this gentleman, and it just happened. He knows a lot about crypto, man. That's what he does. And, well, part of what he does. And so he sat me down and actually broke down a lot of what you need to know about crypto, where to get started. So, as I said, I figure he's a great guest to get on here. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest here. I got my friend here. Here we go, Paul. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you could make. Thank you so much for making a little bit of time. I know you're busy to come and answer some questions.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate you having me on your show.
Perfect. I'm happy. I'm like I said, I'm excited to have you, and I'm excited to do a weekly show with you because cryptocurrency is actually it's a big thing now. A lot of people are talking about it. As I said, a lot of people want to get invested, as I did, or at least dip their toes in the water. And I had no idea how to even start, where to begin. So
Mhm.
hopefully you can kind of explain that. We don't have to cram everything about crypto into this first interview. We can do it next week and whatever. So it's not something we have to cram all into once. And then I want to start basically at the beginning. So for our viewers that are watching here, what is a cryptocurrency?
Cryptocurrency is, when you boil it down, just a currency that is protected, secured cryptographically. So through mathematics and computers, essentially. So unlike, I guess, regular fiat money, which is secured by the central bank, in cryptocurrency land, especially public blockchain-based cryptocurrencies, there is no central authority to secure the money. So they rely on cryptographic processes to secure the money. And yeah, that's really all it is. Cryptocurrency, if you break it down, cryptographic money.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so from as you were just said, there's a couple things I want to touch on. Now, I've had a few people ask me, and I wondered this myself. Where does I think of when people think of valuables like gold, silver, and that you basically go in the ground, somebody digs it up, and it adds value. It's a valuable thing that you can actually dig in the ground or find. I always wondered how is cryptocurrency generated? Like I don't understand, where does it come from? Like how does it
Mhm.
become a cryptocurrency?
Right. So the best way to explain it, I find anyway, is to actually kind of compare it to like an actual mine, a physical mine, where there might be gold or silver or some other precious metal in the mine, right?
Okay.
And with the regular mine, you have people that go in, you have trucks that go in, you have equipment that goes in, and they go in and they'll mine for the precious metal, like gold or silver or whatever it might be. And obviously, the person who can mine the most gold out of that mine will likely be the most profitable, providing gold holds value,
Hmm.
right? So think of that, but convert it to digital land. Well, in digital land, we don't have physical mines, we don't have physical machinery, we don't have really physical people going into a mine and digging out gold. We have, in Bitcoin's case, a virtual mine. And the virtual mine is created by the protocol, essentially. The rules of the network dictate the mine. The rules of the network dictate how deep the mine is, how much gold is within the mine, how much gold can be mined in any given time period, and so on.
Okay.
And so rather than thinking like in a physical sense, like there's people going in and extracting this rare artifacts or gold or whatever it might be, well, in virtual land, you have computers going in using their processing power or using their shares or their holdings, their weight, or what they would call stake on the network to mine for cryptocurrency. And it doesn't happen with a physical machine. It happens virtually through your computer, right?
Okay.
I guess in a way there is a physical machine. The physical machine would be, let's say, your video card in your computer,
Okay.
as opposed to like a massive bulldozer or whatever they use in an actual physical mine. I'm not a miner.
Okay.
I'm not a physical miner.
So basically, anybody that has a computer could basically mine for Bitcoin or any other of the coins that are out there.
Yeah.
But from what you basically explained to me, like if I'm just some guy like me that has a simple laptop, or I have a home computer, just your basic run of the mill home computer, and I want to start mining for Bitcoin or I want to start mining for Atom, it's not that simple, is it?
No, because you're competing in Bitcoin's case, you're competing against everybody else who has a miner on that network. And for example, you might be competing against a warehouse full of computers with much greater processing power than you could ever achieve on your laptop. So it'd be the equivalent of you going in with a garden hoe trying to extract gold out of a massive mine shaft when another company is coming in with like 50 bulldozers and 1,000 men to extract that same gold from the mine shaft. Well, likely they're going to extract it before you because you just don't have the processing power or the means to extract the gold in the given amount of time that they do. They just have much more power and resources in comparison to you.
Okay, that
So
makes
with that
sense.
said, like anybody can try to mine it, sure, go ahead. But your chances of actually finding a Bitcoin per se by mining it is very kind of slim to none, if you're solo mining. And that's a whole nother topic as to like what is solo mining or
Right.
merged mining and so on, or mining with a pool. But yeah, like just forget mining with your laptop. It's probably not going to happen.
Right.
If you're going to mine with your laptop, you could mine some unknown proof of work altcoin
Okay.
that really nobody kind of knows about. An altcoin basically that nobody else is mining yet. So you'd be one of the few miners kind of mining that coin. And in that case, you would find the precious metal or the precious digital currency more often than not, and be able to accumulate a large kind of stash of them hopefully before other people kind of recognize the project or the blockchain, and before more miners get on it and make it infeasible for you to extract that crypto asset out of that network.
That makes total sense, actually. And then, as you were telling me, also, if somebody is trying to just mine something like Bitcoin and they don't have the proper setup for it, you could actually like burn your house down or cause a fire or something like that. You're pulling so much power into
Mm.
your computer that it's not as simple. Like, I mean, yeah, if you have a computer, technically you can do it, but there is consequences if you don't have it set up correctly. Am
Well,
I right?
yeah, I mean, you got a 100 amp circuit coming into your house, and if you set a few miners up in your house, and let's say you got an electric car and you turn on your dryer, well, hey, it could be a bad situation for the electrical wiring in your house. So, yeah, I actually had an incident. I was mining Litecoin back, I think it was probably around like 2014. And well, geez, I woke up one morning and I smelled bleach all throughout my house. And I thought maybe my cat like tipped over a bottle of bleach in the basement, or like, I don't know. I just smelled bleach everywhere. So, anyways, I got up, went downstairs, followed kind of the trail of bleach smell to the basement where I had my miner set up. And sure enough, overnight, the power cord leading from my miner to the wall had literally caught on fire and burnt up.
Wow.
So I was fortunate enough to, I had mined a significant amount of Litecoin prior to, I guess, Litecoin really getting popular.
Right.
So had I burnt my house down, I guess hopefully the profits in Litecoin would be enough so that my wife wouldn't be too angry with me. But that wasn't the case. The house didn't burn down. It just burnt the cord. But it goes to show you that, I'm a computer guy, I'm a tech guy, and I had this miner going. Unfortunately, the cord I had wasn't rated for the amount of power I was pulling through.
Right.
So it goes to show you like how much power these things can take to mine some of these cryptocurrencies, and then some of the dangers and risk you might run into trying to do it at home if you're not set up properly.
Right. Yeah, I just found out a really crazy story that, like, as a lot of people, I've had people say, like, I'm glad you explained it, because they tell me, like, oh, I'm just going to start mining Bitcoin. And I'm trying to explain to them, like, the odds of you finding one now, it's being mined so heavily by people that are set up to do mining. Like, this is all they do. That the odds of you finding one, as you always say, you could find one, you could stumble upon one. But the odds are so astronomical.
It's like winning a lottery, right?
Yeah.
So the odds of your computer winning the lottery because your computer has such low processing power or GPU power, is nowhere in comparison to somebody who's got a warehouse full of these computers in some country and they're all dedicated to trying to mine the same thing you are.
That's incredible.
They're much more likely to win the lottery than
you're
you
playing
are.
more tickets.
Basically. They got more tickets. Yeah,
exactly.
They got more tickets.
It makes total sense when you break it down like that. It really made it's you. When I spoke to you when I first met you, it started making a lot of sense. Now, the one thing that I had problems with when I wanted to start investing was I didn't know where to start. I had no idea where I had to go or what websites I had to go to. And then I remember you bringing up that I needed a blockchain. I had no idea what a blockchain was. So can you explain in the simplest terms that you can for people that don't know, like I did, what a blockchain is, what it does, its function in the whole crypto world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess the first thing to point out is you don't need a blockchain for cryptocurrency. In fact, I think cryptocurrencies had been out quite a long time prior to blockchain.
Okay.
Blockchain tech actually being out, right? Like there's like DigiCash or eCash. Some of these cryptocurrencies, the original ones, they don't utilize the blockchain at all.
Okay.
The more recent cryptocurrencies use blockchain because the technology is kind of already out there. It's the code's open source, so people can copy and paste what Satoshi created with Bitcoin and kind of create their own coins. And by kind of having a cryptocurrency on a blockchain, you can also make sure it's more public that way. Like if your blockchain is public, you'll have a public blockchain, meaning other people can use it, not just like an internal within a company or within let's say a government or whatever. It's anybody can access it, right?
Okay.
You'll find today a lot of cryptocurrencies are blockchain based because blockchain just offers all those benefits like transparency, the fact that it's immutable, you can't shut it down. It's like tamper proof, and it's, I guess, just better tech to build on. So what is blockchain? Again, break it down, blockchain. So what is a block? A block, think of like a container of data. That's all a block is. It's a container formatted a specific way that contains data, and it can contain any type of data, and any type of information can be in that container or in that block. For example, you can have like picture information, so like JPEGs or PNGs. You can have monetary information, so like some kind of like value. You can have any type of data. You can upload like a Word document if you wanted into a blockchain if you really wanted to, right?
Right.
So that is block. It's a container of data. Now you got chain. Well, okay, a chain is there's a chain of containers. They're all attached to each other, right?
Okay.
And
Makes
so,
sense.
so you got a container of data that's chained to the next container of data and so on. And that's why they call it the blockchain. Each block is chained to the previous block. The reason they do this is to verify and to secure the blockchain, to ensure that all transactions within the block are built upon transactions prior to it in the prior block that are, marked as legitimate or approved or confirmed. In the blockchain space, we say the block is confirmed. It means the network has agreed that all the transactions in that block are what they are and final and kind of stamped and approved and put in order in the chain, in the series of events that happened,
Okay.
right?
Nope, that
So
totally makes sense. Like that was something I was saying I had a lot of trouble. I didn't understand what the terminology was. So if
block
I brought,
block
go ahead.
sorry to cut you off,
Nope,
yeah,
go
but
ahead.
another kind of way to describe it, or the way I like to think of it, is like a time stamping machine. So a blockchain stamps data within time and creates a series of events that is verifiable and tamper proof, and immune resistant to anybody who might want to come along and change it. It stamps events in time and makes them provably secure
Okay,
and
so it's
public,
a very
right?
secure way to do transactions because so many people are involved in it. It's not just one person controlling it; it's a group of people. Am I right on that?
Yeah, it's a complete group of people running a blockchain, providing it's a public blockchain,
Okay.
right? It doesn't have to be. It could be like a private blockchain where, let's say, like IBM has their own blockchain, and it's only employees of IBM that can interface with it,
Okay.
right? So, like, there's private blockchains and there's public blockchains. Bitcoin, for example, is a public blockchain. Litecoin is public. Bitswift, we have our own public blockchain. We don't have to be a Bitswift customer. You don't have to be an employee of Bitswift to use our blockchain. You can be anybody. You can be anywhere, and you can connect and use our blockchain.
Okay, perfect. No, that makes total sense. Thank you for explaining that because I know there's a lot of people out there that were like me and just don't know the terminology. So, what I want to go into now from the blockchain, let's go to if you want to invest in different cryptos. As I found out, which I was really surprising to me, is that you have to basically get a wallet, which is basically a wallet that holds your cryptocurrency. And from what I understand, that if each cryptocurrency basically has their own wallet, so if you want to invest in Bitcoin would have their own wallet that you have your crypto in. If you want to invest in Atom, in Bitswift, each of those have their own separate wallet. There's not like a place where you have all of that together. It's basically like a separate wallet for every crypto. Is that correct?
Yes and no, because there are wallets where you can manage multiple cryptocurrencies within that wallet, right?
Okay,
So
I didn't know
they're
that. Okay.
yeah, I don't want to promote or kind of mention any of them, but
Okay, no, that's understandable.
there's many wallets where, for example, you can have an account and you log in, and within there you got your Bitcoin, you got your Litecoin, you got your whatever it might be, right?
Okay.
Dogecoin, so on. But that's just a wallet. That's a front end interface for some blockchain account, right? Because your funds, where your money really is, or where your data is, if it's on the blockchain, is on your blockchain account, and your each blockchain network has its own way of, I guess, managing accounts. So
Okay.
you are correct in the fact that, like, yes, they're kind of independent. Where um, you'll have a Bitcoin account on the Bitcoin network, and you'll have a Bitcoin wallet on the Bitcoin network. And then, if you're in the Dogecoin, you'll have a separate Dogecoin wallet on the Dogecoin network, right? You'll have all
Okay.
these different accounts and all these different wallets on all these different networks. And that's good because you're directly interfacing then to that specific network. If you get into one of these wallets where they kind of combine all the tokens into one wallet, then you're generally looking at like a hosted solution where you're trusting the app developer or whomever it might be to hold your tokens for you on behalf of you,
Okay.
which is against the rules of Satoshi's vision to begin with. But in that case, you're trading convenience for, I guess, security. But it would allow you then to manage all your cryptocurrencies in one location, in one wallet.
Right, and that, as you said, it's kind of a great thing if you want to have everything in one wallet for your convenience. But you're also there's a big risk that if for some reason somebody got into your wallet, they have access to every one of your cryptocurrencies whether instead of if you just they got into one of your separate wallets, you're kind of like more at risk to lose everything if somebody ever did get into that.
Yeah, it depends really how it's set up, but anytime you move from like the like a decentralized system of management to a centralized system, well,
Right.
then you're putting your trust in that central authority or
Okay.
company or whoever it might be. Let's say there's a company who creates a wallet and you throw your funds there. Well, now they're in control of your funds, right? And you got to question like, do you want to subject yourself to that third company managing your funds properly? Maybe the laws change, maybe they disappear, maybe you know maybe they die and disappear and move to India. Who knows, right? um, so yeah, it's just about I guess mitigating risk. And I guess like for me, I'd rather keep my accounts on the blockchain and not move my funds into a centralized third party and have them manage it on my behalf, because then I'm at the mercy of that centralized third party, and anything that might happen to them, if they get hacked or if they disappear, you can be in a lot of trouble, especially
Exactly.
especially if all your crypto, like all your networks of worth of crypto is in that with that one third party. Very similar to like an exchange, right? Like we've seen many centralized cryptocurrency exchanges disappear over time, where they'll just one day not exist. Like it's happened in Canada, it's happened all over the world. Mount Gox was one of the big ones, right?
Okay.
Or people lost a lot of money. I think don't quote me on this, but somewhere in around that 2013 era of crypto. The biggest exchange kind of went offline and never came back and took everybody's Bitcoin with them. So don't let that happen. The best way to not let that happen is, well, don't send your crypto to that exchange to begin with, and unless you're trading it there. And as soon as you're done trading it there, send your crypto back to your own blockchain account so that you're then in control of it again. I mean, that's the whole point of crypto. The whole point of crypto and public blockchains, as per Satoshi's white paper, it was to eliminate the need for middlemen, to eliminate the need for financial institutions. Actually, he goes on to quote that the main benefits of the technology are lost when you need to trust in the third party.
Oh, that makes total. Yeah, and can you explain? Because I didn't even know this till I spoke to you yesterday. You keep saying Satoshi. What do you mean? Is that a person? Is that what do you?
Satoshi is, I guess, the guy who created Bitcoin. But they don't know if it's actually really a guy or a girl or a group of people or an alien or who knows, right? Like they don't actually know who Satoshi is. I think, don't quote me on this again, but from what I read, it translates to knowledge on the inside. I could be wrong,
Okay.
in Japanese or something like that, which is kind of cool. But it's probably a good thing that people don't really know who Satoshi is or where he came from or what he represents, because then people would be able to point fingers at something or somebody, or go after him and try to shut it down, or like um, it's just better, I feel anyway, for humanity that we just really don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I totally agree. I just found that very fascinating because I've always wondered like where the crypto started and where it came from. And a little story of my own, I do remember way back. I'm not sure exactly when Bitcoin first came out. And I had an option to buy. I think the whoever I was dealing with was telling me that I could invest like $500 into it, and if I would have done that, but back then I had no idea what it was. It was something that people were just getting to know
And
that,
nobody did.
nobody did. And I imagine, and I asked you, like, if I would have bought that $500 worth back then, I think it was probably worth maybe about 10 cents for a coin or something like that. I wouldn't be living here, that's for sure. I mean, I would be a
Yeah.
very wealthy man if I would have hung on to that.
Listen, man, like I know so many people in the crypto space, and most of us are kind of in the same situation. Like had we known the acceleration of the value of cryptocurrency, it would that it would happen so quick. I don't think anybody would have sold, and there would be plenty of millionaires slash billionaires,
Right.
but that's not the way it happens. I mean, when you buy Bitcoin for, like, let's say $4 and it goes to eight, like, you double your money, and
Yeah.
you sell half of it, right? So there goes half. And then when it continues up to from eight to $20, well, hey, you sell a bit more, right?
Yep. Because you don't
And
know,
that,
because it could stop at any point, right? There's no guarantee that a coin's going to keep going up. It could go up and then all of a sudden crash right down.
well, especially back then, there was no guarantee that even the technology was even kind of really feasible to have like a globally distributed cryptocurrency, right? Because it was just kind of brand new, completely untrusted, completely unknown by like anybody really, right? Came out of nowhere, came out
Right.
of anonymous developer, was used for like illegal transactions. Now, don't get, I mean, so is fiat, but
Mm-hmm.
there's that whole, like, I guess, like, public kind of, how can the public trust it if it's being kind of portrayed as like a negative way to transmit value,
Right.
or
Right.
can be used in negative forms, right?
No,
um
that's exactly it. Like if we all knew back then, of course everybody would have invested, but back then it was so new that I didn't even really know what it was.
yeah,
And
yeah.
of course, people if they knew what it was going to do now, and then like as you said, the question is, if I bought a coin for $2 and all of a sudden it's worth $500, that's very tempting to sell your
Oh,
coins when they
totally.
jump up. That nobody knew it was going to go into the hundreds of 40,000 a coin or something like that. You just didn't know.
Well, people, I think, like the hardcore maximalist Bitcoiners, they knew it would keep going up, and
Mm-hmm.
I was actually, I guess, one of those people because I'm always promoting Bitcoin, talking about it everywhere I go. But I didn't think it would happen so quickly. I didn't realize that people with real money out there would
Mm-hmm.
come in and throw all their money at it so quickly. I think they woke up and they realized what's happening. And some of the people out there have much more money than, let's say, me or you, right?
Oh,
Well, I don't know your
exactly.
financial
That's the
situation.
thing, and that's one part I want to also ask you. If somebody like I want to let people what I think, and from what I've understood from what you've kind of taught me so far, is that when you kind of when I started investing in I invested a little bit in Atom and a couple other coins and or crypto or whatever. I'm not sure the proper terminology. I call them coins or whatever. It's not. It's kind of a long term game. Like you're not gonna basically. I mean, I'm sure it can happen where you can get rich overnight, but I'm kind of investing in for a few years down the road. Is that probably a safe way that people should look at it if they're gonna take the leap and invest in crypto?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, long is probably better than short, and I would only, I guess, invest in it if you firmly believe in the whole premise behind it and understand like why it exists and where it might actually end up in the future. Um, but I mean, you can invest today and you could lose a lot of money as well, right? Here's the thing. There's a lot of people, especially I deal with, they're investing in Bitcoin because they're trying to make more money, but they're not in realization that this is money. In fact, it's better money. So why are you trading good money for shit money? Why are you buying good money and sitting on it and waiting to accumulate more shit money just to sell your good money back for shit money?
Right.
It kind of doesn't make sense. So what I've been doing is just holding it because it will the shit money one day. The good money will replace the shit money, and it may not be Bitcoin per se that you see everybody transacting in the future directly Bitcoin to Bitcoin, but I can tell you Bitcoin will be that. I believe anyway, like the backbone of this new economic system where there are many other cryptocurrencies kind of trading with Bitcoin at the Bitcoin level,
Okay.
many other cryptos, many other blockchains, all interacting with each other, all part of this new peer-to-peer decentralized economic system where Bitcoin is kind of the reserve dollar, the global reserve currency, not the US dollar.
Okay. So you totally think that so down the road, do you believe I can speak for myself. I believe this is going to happen. So I just want to get your opinion. Do you think that down the road that paper money as we know it, like the U.S. dollar, the Canadian dollar, all of these, do you think that it's only a matter of time before these lose total value and that we are going to be eventually dealing with a cryptocurrency economy?
Um, Man, not only do I believe, I know 100% that the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, all fiat currencies will lose all their value eventually. They'll become as worthless as grass. Grass actually might be worth more because you can actually eat grass and survive off grass if you need to.
Right.
Paper money, dirty paper money, I don't know how long you could survive off eating paper money. So, like, here's the fact over the course, the history of currencies, specifically fiat-based not cryptocurrencies, just fiat, like government-backed currencies, right?
Okay.
They've all, not just government, but like any dynasty-backed, like any centrally authorized currency seems to fail over time.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to lose value year after year, which makes you question what's the point in saving it.
Exactly.
And it seems to lose its purchasing power until it reaches a point of basically hyperinflation, where they just keep printing it out of nowhere into thin air, where there's so much of it that it just becomes valueless, where people don't even want it, because what can you buy with it, right? It's not rare anymore. It's not sought after anymore. It's not useful anymore. Maybe you could blow your nose with it, but people aren't going to accept it for a mechanism of value exchange, right? So yeah, for me, it's like, it's a no-brainer. It's just a matter of time. And I don't think it'll take too much longer, given the way things are going out there, with the amount of money they're printing specifically, where the fiat system will just go bottoms up, and there will have to be some other system in place to accommodate the people. And the system's already there, and it's being built on since 2009 on the blockchain. So yeah, it'll happen. Your regular Canadian dollar paper money won't exist anymore. I think they'll convert to a digital Canadian dollar credit.
Okay.
I think they'll have to do that within the next probably 5-10 years anyway, because of the whole way the economy is going, with like automation, and like there's jobs out there, but a lot of them are being replaced by robots and self-checkout and
Very
the
true.
internet
Yep.
and so on, right? So like, it begs the question, like, if you can't go to work to earn a living because there are maybe not jobs suitable for you, because they're more suitable for a robot, then you're probably going to hopefully earn some basic income credit, because, the people still have to make money somehow. So I would hope the system switches to accommodate everybody, like a universal basic income system. And I think that would come in like a Canadian digital dollar.
Okay.
And I think that might come sooner than people think, because a good way to keep people in the system would be to keep giving people that system's monetary unit, right?
Exactly.
So like, if people can't go to work and make the Canadian dollar, well, hey, they might revert to staking some free tokens on some other network and start using that between each other, because, hey, at least it incorporates everybody, and it doesn't force you to go out and compete against everybody to try to find the lowest finding job,
Right.
It's just more accommodating, especially if you're thinking on like a global kind of scale, right?
Which is what we have to think about, because whatever I think is going to be going on in the near future is going to happen globally, as we saw basically with what was going on with COVID and stuff like that. Like, I think now we're kind of dealing with a global, things are happening at a global level, at least on that area. So I can definitely see the dollar doing something like definitely going away, and things going to a cryptocurrency. So, and if
Here's the thing, right?
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, go ahead.
Like, the more money they print, just means there's more money that can flow into crypto in the end anyway.
Okay.
So what will happen is they'll print themselves out of existence, but all that printed money has to go somewhere. It will flow likely into the new economic system, into Bitcoin, into some of these other cryptocurrencies, which will then only increase the value of the cryptocurrencies, right?
Which is a good thing if you're an investor, right? If you're investing, well, the trick is to kind of find the coins that are going to go up, which is the big
Well,
trick.
if you're holding a bunch of coins and your intention is to sell them when they increase in value, then yeah, I mean, it's extremely good for you. But a better situation would be that you're holding a whole bunch of coins and then all of a sudden the whole economic system's using them. You can buy your hamburgers with them. You can buy your gas with them. You're creating them in your pocket because you're staking them. You are now the money printer. And hey, how great would that be? Where if everybody could be their own money printer, but they're all by using a decentralized computer network that they're all participating on, also all verifying that everybody's money printing is in alignment with what actually should be happening,
Okay.
with what the network dictates and says is allowed, right?
That's
Which
yeah. That's no. That's very cool.
we
No.
don't have that today in
Nope.
the current system. We have politicians and people that operate on emotions and just go print money out of thin air because we need it because they cause havoc with the economy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
With cryptocurrencies, you have like logic instead of emotions. You replace the emotions with computer logic, and it makes logical decisions. Who would have thought? Like things like how much currency should exist, and never any more. Completely predictable money supply that might help people if you had those sorts of things, right? It might help people if the currency that you held every day went up in value instead of down in value every day. It might help you if your savings actually amounted to anything when you retired, right? So for all these reasons, it just kind of proves why cryptocurrency will likely dominate, why fiat will likely fail. It's just in my opinion a much better system, especially when you start considering the future, like how things will work in the future.
Exactly, and I totally agree with you. I can see it, definitely everything going to a cryptocurrency based where paper money is not even going to be around. It's almost barely not around now because people are using their debit cards, they're tapping. So I mean,
Yeah.
the next logical step is that it's going to go to a crypto based where you're just dealing with buying off each other, or even I'm sure businesses eventually are down the road are going to have to accept cryptocurrencies
Mhm.
for if you want to purchase anything, which makes total sense. But I do know that you're running. My time with you is running short. I know you have to get out of here soon, so I just want to basically give you the floor for a minute to promote your company, your business. Let everybody know where they can find you, what your business is all about, and the floor is yours, Paul. Go ahead and let everyone know what you're all about.
Sure, yeah. Hey guys, my name's Paul Bush. I'm the CEO of Bitswift. Bitswift is a collection of companies, community, and customers. We have products and services. We're a tech company when it comes down to it. We do a lot of tech integrations for business. We manage their tech infrastructure. We manage their systems, their security, their websites, their whole kind of, I guess, digital presence. We make the tech decisions on behalf of many customers. So we'll tell them, like what access points they should put in, what servers they should put in, what point of sale systems they should put in, what blockchain to use, those types of things. Um, Heavily involved in, I guess, promoting blockchain tech because we are a tech company. So part of that is deploying new technologies in an effort to help people, to advance them, to make their life more enjoyable. So whether it's a new network or a blockchain, where we do it. Yeah, and I've been around in the crypto space since, I don't really want to state the actual year, but let's
For a
just say
long
early.
time.
Yeah, for longer than I want to admit. Um, but I have some experience, obviously, with blockchain-based cryptocurrencies, and kind of, I guess, that whole token economy, how it works, how it operates, who are the players there, yeah, that type of thing.
That's
Um,
perfect. And do you have a website people can go to?
yeah, we got a couple of websites depending on what you're looking for. So we have bitswift.tech. That's our tech company website. It's kind of like a rough overview of our tech company. We have bitswift.cash, which is a crypto asset gateway slash faucet, which we've been working on the last couple of years. And we also have a shop, which is you can buy computer products, you can buy video cards, you can buy hard drives, you can buy whatever you need for your computer. We also accept cryptocurrency on our shop. One of the few Canadian retailers that actually, I think, accepts crypto directly for tech products and services. Um, yeah, we
That
do a lot of stuff. It's all tech based, and yeah, we also promote the blockchain. We have
that's
our own
amazing. Yeah.
blockchain.
Well,
Oh,
go ahead.
one other thing, important one actually, is our blockchain, right? Because we have a public blockchain, the Bitswift blockchain, and you can access our blockchain through my account.bitswift.network.
Okay. And that's basically where that's the blockchain that I'm part of, because I actually bought into some of your Bitswift tokens. So that's where
Yep,
my tokens are sitting, is
yep,
on your actual blockchain.
yep. So you have an account on our blockchain,
Yep.
and your value is stored there in a decentralized manner by holding our tokens there, and our tokens contain some value because people say they do. There's people trading them with other crypto assets. So once there's a market for them, they have value.
Oh, that's very cool. Well, thank you, Paul, for coming and taking this time to sit and talk with us. I'm looking forward to doing a show with you once a week for an hour or so, and just to really dive into all different aspects of cryptocurrency and your thoughts where things are going. I think it'll be a great series that I want to do with you.
Mhm.
And as I was telling the people at the beginning that are viewing this, if you have any questions for Paul, just leave them in the comments. In the comment section, I'll be able to sure to write them down, and then we can definitely bring it up to Paul next week when he comes on the show again. So I think it'll be amazing. I've learned so much just in a little bit of time that we talk about all the different cryptocurrencies and the different ones out there. There's so much to this topic that you can't do it in an hour. It just takes a
Oh
little
no,
time.
there's so many aspects to crypto, and not just crypto, but all the different crypto assets, and then all the technologies behind all the different crypto assets, and you can really kind of dig deep into all these different texts and try to figure out why one's better than the other, and so
Oh,
on, right?
exactly. And that's the
Um,
thing. That's why I wanted to start this series at the very beginning of where crypto got its start and stuff. Because for me, as now that I'm investing in crypto, it really helped with you because you broke it down. And I just think that you have to know the basics and what all the terminology is before you start investing. So that's what was great when I met you, because you actually, like as I said, you broke down a lot of things and explained it, because I had no idea where to even start. And then I can let you guys know for sure, once you kind of get the hang of it, you get to understand the terminology and stuff, it actually does start to make a lot of sense. It just seems to be a little confusing at first, like anything else. So
it's
you,
overwhelming, yeah.
it
Like
is
there's a lot
very
of
much, very much overwhelming.
e-
And
even when I got into crypto, when I first started reading it, it was very overwhelming, right? But it was through researching it and educating myself on it that actually brought out my true kind of interest in it,
mhm.
and actually made me realize like why this is so powerful, and made me realize the true potential behind this decentralized global ledger technology, the blockchain. And that's really why I became attached to it, was doing that initial research, coming into realization, and then obviously trying to educate, promote, and integrate it into not only our business but other business as well.
Exactly, and it's a great. I think it's a very cool that you're doing that, because we're definitely headed down the road to where it's going to be all cryptocurrencies. I think the quicker people can start learning about it, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe dipping their toes in there and investing a little, because as you told me, you don't have to invest a ton of money at first just to get started. You can take a little bit of money and just kind of dip your toes in the pool and figure out
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do.
Yeah, common misconception is that you need to own one full Bitcoin, right? Like, or
That's what
one
I thought.
full Bitswift, right? It's
Yep.
like, well, how do you come up with the $50,000 to buy a Bitcoin? Well, you don't need to. You can buy an eighth of a Bitcoin. You can buy fractions of a Bitcoin, right? So you could just throw in $1 a day and own 0.000001 of a Bitcoin, but that'll add up over time. Maybe it'll add down over time. I could be completely wrong, and I don't want to, I guess, stray any of your viewers one way or the other.
Right.
I'm just here to provide, I guess, additional data, additional information,
Right.
so that people can make their own educated decisions by doing their own research. Do your own research.
I know. I do. I do. You tell me that all the time. And as you said, you can't guarantee that in any of the cryptocurrency that you invest in that you're going to make money. You can very well lose it too. There's no. It's like the stock
You,
market. There's no way to predict. It's
oh man, you can lose money quicker than you can make it if you make the wrong call, right?
right.
Anytime I sold crypto, I've lost money. That's what I've learned. So
Okay.
I just keep hoarding. I just keep hoarding.
No, that's the way. That's what I'm going to do. As I said, when I started investing, when you got me investing, I said I'm not trying to make a quick dollar. I mean, it'd be great if I could, but I'm definitely looking for down the road, and so I'm just going to hang on to it too. Like that's what my plan was from the start, and that's what I'm going to stick with.
Mhm.
But like I said, I'll let you go. I don't want to keep you. I know I keep asking questions, but we'll do it next show. So I
Yeah, no
just want.
worries. I'm looking forward to the next one for sure. I am running short on time, but excuse me here. Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
You're very
And
welcome, Paul. Thank you for taking the time again. I enjoy our conversation so much. So I'll definitely make sure that I get you on in a week or so. And if we have some questions, I'll run them by you, and we can take over. We can continue on the conversation from here.
cool. All
All right.
right, man.
All right. Have a great day, Paul. Take care.
See you later,
Take
dude.
care,
Bye
guy.
bye.
Well, there we have it, folks. Another great interview in the bag. I tell you, I am having so much fun doing these interviews. I'm learning. So I've only done one other interview than this, but I've definitely got a lot of interviews lined up for the future on many different topics and topics that interest me, and I'm hoping that are going to interest you. Paul is a great guy. He's taught me so much about cryptocurrency. As I said at the beginning, I had no idea how to get started in cryptocurrency. I didn't understand where it came from. I didn't understand anything about it, and just fortunate that I met such a great guy that's so knowledgeable on cryptocurrency and on computer tech. Without him, to be honest, this podcast wouldn't even probably be up and running because he's the guy that got me set up. With the mic that I'm talking in, the cameras I got, basically everything that I got running this podcast right now is due to him coming over and teaching me. And just a great guy, a great friend, and I'm glad that I know him. And gonna be a great guest. As I said, he agreed that he'll make time to come on for at least an hour a week. So I'm gonna do another show next week, and we're just gonna basically continue off from the last part, where we left off today. It's such a huge topic, cryptocurrency, that to try to cram it all into a show in 40 minutes or an hour, it's not going to happen. So I figured let's start this interview right to basically have Paul explain where cryptocurrency started, where it's got its starts basically, and where it's he thinks it's heading. And I totally agree with him that it's going to be the way of the future. I really think that some form of cryptocurrency is going to replace the actual fiat dollar, like the paper money that we have. As I said earlier, basically, I can't remember the last time I actually had real money that I dealt with. It's always been now, it's just kind of like with your bank card or debit card or you tap it and stuff like that. I can't really remember the last time I had paper money in my hand. It's been quite a while. So we're almost there now. And so, how big of a leap is it really to go from tapping your card, doing it that way to all of a sudden going fully digital where there's no paper money at all? And the one thing I learned is there is a lot of cryptocurrency, different coins out there. There's thousands and thousands of them. So it's very overwhelming, as Paul said, when you first get started. But the more research you do, and the more people that you talk to that have knowledge in this, it really starts to make sense. And I'm glad that I started to invest in cryptocurrency. I don't have a lot of money invested. By no means, don't think that there's no way I'm going to get rich by any means anytime soon with the money I've invested. But on the good note, at least I got my foot in the water. At least I dipped my toes in, and now I'm starting to learn. And I find that, if you got a little bit of money invested, you're really going to want to learn. It makes you want to learn more about it because, the goal is to make a lot of money. I mean, let's be honest here. We're not investing our money so we lose money. We're investing money because we know down the road we hope to make it big and, make a lot of money on the little money we invested. So that's kind of cool. So that's what means me to research it and get a lot more interest going for myself. So it's pretty cool. So I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this show. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to listen to this, for taking the time to check out my show. Please, if you enjoyed it, leave a like and a subscribe. Everybody tells me I should say that at the end. So, hey, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the show. Please join me here if you're here for the crypto advice and stuff with Paul. We'll be here next week to do another hour show. And if you do have any questions, as I kept saying, just leave them in the comments section and I'll be sure to write them down and I can ask Paul these questions on behalf of you. So anything you want to ask about cryptocurrency, definitely leave it in the comments and I'll make sure that I get that question out to Paul. And I just want to thank everybody for taking time today to sit and be with me during my show. Have a great day, great evening, if that depends what time you're listening to this at. But definitely looking forward to seeing you all at my next show. And have a great day, guys.